Aloha, my name is Ameera Healer. I live on the beautiful island of Kauai. I'm an incarnated mer person, and I also work with the energies of the great kingdom of Atlantis. And as a professional past life regression facilitator and teacher, meaning through hypnosis, I take people into other realms, realities, and lifetimes for healing, for help in healing. So sometimes that means we actually visit a past life, which is actually a simultaneous life, a lifetime happening at the same time this one. And sometimes we do what is called a soul progression, which is where I use the hypnosis to allow you to reach your guides and angels, to reach them, to reach your higher self and receive answers to different questions about whatever might be happening in your world, who your guides are, who they might be. And together we find resolution to the different circumstances and situations and maybe patterns and beliefs in your life. Things that are happening in your life. And so today I felt to make a video and talk about, give the explanation as to what, quote, past lives or other lifetimes, what that's really all about, and how that's possible. A lot of people who come to me for services, for sessions, really want to understand what the past life thing is all about, because we're learning that past, present, and future don't really exist. There's no such thing as the past. There's no such thing as the future. There is really only this present moment. There's only timelines and realities happening simultaneously all at once. So for a lot of people, not really sure how that happens. We call it past lives because that's what we've always called it, and nobody can really think of a name that better suits the idea of going into another version of ourself or another reality that can sometimes look like, the past from a linear standpoint. So I just wanted to bring some clarification and some information and knowledge to my understanding of what past lives or what simultaneous lives, what that is, and how to kind of wrap your mind around that. Our left brain wants answers. It wants to know, it wants to understand so that it can integrate. Our right brain, which is where regression therapy, which is where, going into the hypnosis, where that all takes place, is about creating. It's about the abstract. It's about just drawing in all pure potential and possibilities. The left brain wants to make sense of it all. It wants to know how it's happening. So one of the things that makes me quite good at what I do professionally, when I help people go into the hypnosis, which is just really like a light state of trance that allows your subconscious to open up, and helps you to receive information that you might not have in your walking around state. And one of the ways I'm really able to help people is to allow them to feel safe to open up their right creative mind and trust themselves, because hypnosis or trance is it's really just you going to your higher guidance. It's you going to yourself, to your higher self, to your guides, and you receive the information which you report to me. I open up the space, I hold the space, but it really comes from your own intuition. And allowing the left brain just to kind of, take a nap, go to sleep, and allow the right brain to do what it does very, very well, which is create. Which is to tune into, the intangible. And then we wrap the session up by allowing the left brain to create the tangible, the truth or the groundedness out of the experience. So it's a whole integration. It's a whole body type of integration, a whole soul type of experiential integration, where both right and left hemispheres of the brain are satisfied. And that way the body, when the mind is satisfied, the body can integrate the solutions. It can integrate the information. There's no, kind of rejection or doubt or fear about how it's all happening and why it's happening, because, you know, both sides of us receive that balance, receive what they need to feel satisfaction. So Metatron, I have a very close association and partnership with Archangel Metatron. You can see the lovely Metatron's cube that is behind me. Metatron taught me this about how to explain to people about multidimensionality and living simultaneously. Because, you know, we hear that a lot. We hear that often, that we are multidimensional beings existing in many realms and realities all at once. And so how does that really happen? How do we do that? We hear that, but our left brain doesn't always, you know, understand about how that's possible, because the right brain has got this kind of abstract focus, or this abstract kind of like concept of what being multidimensional might mean. So Archangel Metatron asked me to break it down and explain it to you all like this. So if you can imagine, you know, your higher self, and you know, your higher self is that part of you that's eternally connected to God. Your higher self is that version of you that knows all, that wise part of you that contains all information of your soul, all information of your Akashic records, of everything you are, everything you've been, everything you will be. Your higher self, if you want to think of it as the sun. So the analogy I like to use is to think of your higher self as the sun. So our sun and our solar system, this enormous, bright, beautiful star in our solar system that lights our planet, splits itself into many factions or rays or parts. Many rays of the sun come down from the sun down to Earth. It splits itself up into many pieces or rays. Why? Because if the sun were to come down to our planet as one big channel of light, just one big beam of light, and hit the Earth, what would happen to the Earth? Well, it would blow up. It would explode, because our Earth and our bodies and all life on Earth is not designed to take in that much light and to take in, you know, that much heat, that much intensity at once. So the sun, in its own infinite wisdom, splits itself up into many parts, so that we receive on this planet what we can fully integrate, what is healthy, what allows everything to grow, what allows the Earth to, you know, to seed and to sprout and to receive warmth without something happening to us or something happening to the Earth itself. So that's the divine intelligence that went into the sun as it was created to support Earth life. So if you can think of your higher self, use the analogy as a sun. Your higher self is, with divine intelligence, is this great big star that is you. Shows up as you in many different realities, universes, planets, and timelines. The reason your higher self splits itself up into all these different parts and distributes itself throughout the universe is why? For the same reason. Because our sun, or you as your higher self, holds so much light. There's so much light there. It's so enormous that if you were to show up in this reality, you know, planet Earth, as one beam of you, what would happen to you in your third dimensional body? Well, you'd blow up. Our 3D bodies are not designed to hold the light or the structure of our higher selves and all that it offers. So in its infinite wisdom, it splits itself up, and different rays or aspects of you show up on different timelines, realities, and planets as versions of you coming from your higher self. So time is not linear. Time actually works like in a spiral. So think about time going in a spiral and having different layers, all happening not linear, not past, present, future, but happening all at the same time. So if you can wrap your mind around the idea that you are multidimensional through the different fractions of yourself that come off of your higher self that land on these different spirals of time, you can begin to kind of envision how multidimensionality can work. So for instance, because it's all you, because it's your higher self, you might have other versions of you in other realities, including other Earth realities, parallel lines of time, parallel universes that are meeting with the same kinds of people or having the same kinds of situations happening that you do in this reality. So because it's all you, if you've got these other versions yourselves who are experiencing these same life situations, maybe the same relationships, maybe the same, patterns, beliefs, addictions, wounds, strengths, all of it, because you are all of it, you can see how you in this reality might become affected by what is also you in another reality. So how does ascension work? I'm going to weave a little bit of an ascension possibilities into this. Our planet, our bodies, are going through this process now called ascension, where we personally, you in this reality, is learning to hold and embody more light codes, your DNA. Our DNA is firing up. Our cells are healing. Our cells are changing. We're growing. We're expanding. We're actually becoming different, more evolved beings. That's the process that we call ascension. And so I have a lot of people ask me, what does that mean? How are we actually ascending? Like meaning taking our bodies with us, like to the next level, to 5D Earth, sometimes people call it. Taking our bodies along with our expanded consciousness to this new awareness or this new plane of existence. So if you think about, Jesus, when Jesus lived and died, he left his body behind. He left his body, and his spirit, his soul source moved into this higher level of consciousness. In our existence, in our expression, we're actually taking our bodies with us. Our bodies are actually changing and morphing, evolving, mutating, whatever you want to call it, to allow us to take our whole integrated self, body, mind, spirit, into this higher elevated consciousness. So how are we doing this? Here's how Metatron asked me to explain how this is possible for us. So if you have all these different aspects that are living as you and all these different realities, when these other aspects have, problems and situations and things to be resolved, or when these other aspects of us say, pass, die, in their physical form with unresolved, with all this stuff unresolved, unresolved relationships or unfinished business or regrets. Those are the types of situations that keep that aspect of your soul earthbound. And most of us have heard about earthbound spirits. Earthbound spirits are spirits that after death, the death of the body, they don't move on. They stay attached to the earth for multiple of reasons. And often that reasoning is because there's something unfinished, there's something unhealed, and the vibrational quality, because everything is vibration and energy, the vibrational quality of that soul feels that it needs to stay tethered to earth life, or tethered to maybe other people they left behind, in order to first resolve whatever was not healed before they passed on. So if that is you, if you are alive in these other versions of reality, and you pass from the body with unfinished business, whether that's an earth life or an off-planet type of life, because it's all you, and because everything is based on vibration and energy, if those other parts of you who are likely aware of you in this existence, right? If they see you experiencing the same type of things that maybe they did in their existence, they would probably come to you, come into your energy field, and you may not even really be aware of that's another part of you entering your energy field, but these other aspects of us enter energetically into our energy field, and in my experience, they're asking for help. They're asking for assistance. They're asking for you and me, who have access to things like past life regression therapy, shamanism, meditation, and all these great tools that we have here on this earth plane in 2019 and beyond, that are helping our soul expand and grow and hold more light. So if you can kind of wrap your mind around these other parts of you, seeing you, what you're doing, what the goal is, which is ascension in this reality, they might come to you unconsciously or subconsciously and kind of create a disturbance in your energy field to make you aware of them and ask for help. Because the goal of the soul's goal is always to heal itself. The goal of the soul or the spirit is always to find resolution and always to remember reunion with God or reunion with source. And so if these other parts of us are kind of, stuck or here or unable to do that for themselves, they're going to find a part of themselves that can help them out. So these parts of us find us, they come forward, and they ask us to look at ourselves, to look at our situations, and to help us ourselves in this reality, as well as help them in this other reality that they're still existing in order to return to God. So if I were, for example, to take you into a past life where you were able to uncover the source or the pattern of relationship trauma, of any kind of health situation, anything that might be going on in this reality, and also helping in other realities, if we can help you in this reality and also help those other parts of you that exist in these other realities heal and return to source, if there's less of you coming out from your higher self, there's less rays or aspects of you coming out, because some of them get to return back up to their higher self, to your higher self, and ultimately to God. If there's less coming out, what do you think happens to the rays that are still coming out from your higher self? What do you think would happen to the ray of Ameera once other aspects of Ameera's higher self were able to heal and return? Well, there would be more energy or more bandwidth to come down and show up in this reality as me. I would begin to hold more light. You would begin to hold more light. Kind of amazing, huh? So these rays, they heal themselves up. They go back up to Creator, go back to Source. That light is returned down on your line of time, on your individual light of time, as something that is stronger or more pronounced, or with the ability to be more expanded. And this is how we're ascending. So very simplified terminology, but if you can't make it simple and easy for the left brain and for the body to integrate, then what's the point, right? So I hope that you found this information useful and helpful. If you are interested in getting together with me for a soul progression or past life regression, you can find me at ameerabath.com. That's my website. I have a schedule through there. Feel free to reach out to me on Facebook under Ameera Bath Healer. Happy to answer any more questions, or maybe make arrangements between you and I, and just answer anything that comes up for you. Let's see, what else? Oh yes, I am also a past life regression facilitation instructor. So if you would like to learn past life regression therapy through hypnosis, I've been an advanced level practitioner for about 10 years. I've taught multiple classes to dozens of people, taught them this art of hypnosis and regression therapy. Would be happy to talk to you about a one-on-one training, and sometimes I'll hold group trainings as well. So again, you can find me at ameerabath.com, and I look forward to continuing the journey with all of you. Oceans of aloha.